Good night, everyone.
On World News Tonight this Thursday, will Slobodan Milosevic ever appear at the International Court of Justice? Another hurricane season is about to begin, better understanding how severe they will be. College students who decide they would rather earn than learn anymore. And is there a curse on the California launch pad? Nothing seems to work. Paid for with your money.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. It is the first time a ruling head of state has ever been charged with committing war crimes. Today, the United Nations International War Crimes Tribunal indicted the Yugoslav leader Slobodan Milosevic and 4 of his senior officials, holding them responsible for the murder of at least 340 Kosovo Albanians, as well as the deportation of 750,000 others. ABC's Sheila McVicker reports first from the Netherlands.
The indictment describes a systematic campaign of terror against Kosovo Albanians. Shelling, house burnings, beatings, where Serbian soldiers and police intentionally created an atmosphere of fear through force or threats of force, all carried out under orders from the Serbian leadership.
There is credible basis to believe that these accused are criminally responsible. The victims were entitled to expect protection from each one of these accused.
The indictment is a collection of stories. The story of Rakac. In January, Serb forces began by shelling the village, then went house to house. The indictment says 45 men were taken to a hill where policemen shot and killed them. The terrible story told by this man, Salami Alshani.
The police lined up 3 or 4 yards in front of us. The first bullet grazed me in the shoulder. I fell, and others fell on top of me.
14 men shot and then burned. Salami was the lone survivor. He became a witness for the War Crimes Tribunal. Arrest warrants have been issued that technically compel all members of the United Nations to assist in bringing the accused to justice. The tribunal has even asked officials in Yugoslavia to help put their leader on trial. Sheila McVicker, ABC News, The Hague.
In Yugoslavia today, President Milosevic's government called the indictment another attempt to mislead the world. Even his enemies were critical. They said the indictment backs Mr. Milosevic into a corner, making it very unlikely he will negotiate an end to the war. A view very much shared at the Pentagon. We go next to ABC's John McWethy.
NATO officials insisted today that the indictment of Milosevic will not alter the military campaign.
As far as Operation Allied Force is concerned, one thing must be clear. Nothing has changed.
But something has changed. Pentagon officials believe the chances of a negotiated settlement, slim to begin with, may have just evaporated.
Military officials point out that at the beginning of this crisis, airstrikes were only supposed to be used to give diplomacy a little push. Now the air campaign is all there is.
Talk of sending ground troops to Kosovo to end the conflict has deeply divided NATO, has many critics in Congress, and is unlikely to become a reality anytime soon. That leaves NATO with little viable diplomacy, a stalled ground option, and a massive air campaign that is now operating in clear weather with growing intensity. No end in sight. John McWethy, ABC News, The Pentagon.
Here in New York today, Human Rights Watch said it was about time Mr. Milosevic had been indicted, and Louise Arbour, the Canadian judge who indicted him and the others, told us today it was now up to those who could get their hands on the Yugoslav leader to be sure that he is delivered to the courtroom. Madame Arbour also said she knew that this indictment would have an effect on any negotiations for a political settlement, but that was not her problem. And why, she asked us rhetorically, would you trust a man like Mr. Milosevic anyway? We talked to her earlier. Do you believe that the indictment disqualifies Mr. Milosevic as someone with whom the NATO alliance could negotiate an end to the war?
That's not a matter for me to decide.
At the same time, Madam Arbour, you do raise yourself in your official statement that this does raise the possibility that Mr. Milosevic is not a guarantor of a peace agreement.
Well, the one thing I want to make very clear is Mr. Milosevic is not a different man today than he was yesterday. This indictment does not render him more or less suitable as a negotiator or a guarantor of any deal than he was the day before. What the indictment revealed, though, is that a judge, an independent judge, was satisfied that there's credible evidence to believe that if it's unanswered or unchallenged, he could be convicted on the basis of this evidence for his implication in the murder of over 340 of persons who lived under his protection. That, it seems to me, poses a pretty serious question of whether that can be the person who would be the guarantor of the safety of those who would be asked to return under an agreement that he would be sponsoring. That, to me, is a much more significant question than that of whether people should so-called talk to him or shake his hands or negotiate with him.
As for getting him to the court, it'll be very difficult. There's been another incident overseas today between India and Pakistan, which worries the U.S. a lot. Pakistan shot down an Indian fighter jet over the disputed territory of Kashmir. They've been fighting off and on over this piece of land for more than 20 years. The U.S. is always worried that violence between Indians and Pakistanis may escalate to the point of war, and worried especially now that each has, as one Pentagon source said, a stiletto in their back pocket, which is nuclear. When we come back, the other news. The hurricane season. It could be particularly brutal this year. And the planet Mars, a very rugged place, as you've never seen it before.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Bayer.
All right, kid. Here we go. 10-9. What do you got? What do you got? Yeah. All right, come on, come on.
What would you do if someone you loved had a heart attack?
Yeah.
Did you know it's now been proven that the same Bayer aspirin you have in your bag for muscle aches may actually help stop you from dying if you take it during a heart attack?
Downtown. Lucky shot.
Can your pain reliever do that? Talk to your doctor now.
Next time I'll go easier on you.
Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more.
Boogie woogie, rumbling round, creamy, dreamy, rumbling round. It's got yogurt blended right in with the creamy taste of butter. You'll try again.
The goodness of yogurt, the creamy taste of butter with half the fat and calories. Must be Rumbling Brown.
Yeah, I've been having this problem with my girlfriend. It's
diarrhea. Get it, and you want it gone.
Really good listener.
Imodium Advanced combines 2 medicines that relieve diarrhea plus cramps and bloating faster.
Was I right to invite my mom to my honeymoon?
Absolutely.
Imodium Advanced.
Sundown Herbals presents its remarkable Twist and Learn label. It works like an herbal information center that helps you learn about herbs simply by turning the label. Sundown's new Twist and Learn label, where to turn for help.
The 1999 hurricane season is about to begin without question, and today federal forecasters predicted that at its peak, during August, September, October, it will likely be even more violent than normal. Here's ABC's Bill Blakemore.
Today's predictions from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration are for a season as bad as last year's, with at least 3 major hurricanes. Other predictions say there will also be at least 6 smaller hurricanes. A main cause, La Nina, the strip of cold water now in the mid-Pacific that just won't go away. NOAA scientists are also developing a powerful new tool for predicting the severity of hurricanes. They've never been able to tell when a weak hurricane might suddenly become a monster. They now expect to find the answer in a sea current called the Gulf Eddy. Some years it breaks off of the warm Gulf Stream and whirls warm water into the Gulf of Mexico, where it can give heat and power to storms.
We're going to be looking at the thermal structure of that current, how deep the warm water is and how much heat energy it has available to transfer to the hurricane.
Scientists are excited by new satellite images that show this summer there will be a new eddy forming in the Gulf for them to study. The worry for Gulf Coast residents is that the new eddy will be there waiting to strengthen any weak hurricane that crosses it. Bill Blakemore, ABC News, New York.
The Transportation Department said today, traffic up, fatalities down. The number of deaths on the road has dropped to the lowest level in 4 years, even though the number of miles being driven is up. 41,500 people died last year, 620 fewer than in 1997. Even with all the public attention, however, 62% of those killed were not wearing seatbelts. Back upstairs again, NASA gave us a remarkable three-dimensional portrait of the planet Mars today, first of its kind. It's a map made from laser images. Mars is very rugged. Here's ABC's Ned Potter.
We've always called it the red planet, but engineers set their computers to show Mars in false color. The mountainous regions in bright orange, the flat lowlands in blue. The result, a topographic map of Mars more detailed than any of Earth.
Anyone who wears glasses can relate to looking at things without your glasses on. Today we put our glasses on and can see the details in great relief.
What it shows most strikingly is that the planet's southern hemisphere is almost all mountains and craters, while the north is mysteriously about 3 miles lower. If Mars was once warm and wet, as scientists believe, its northern hemisphere could have been a vast ocean. The computer map was made by a little ship called Mars Global Surveyor. It brings parts of Mars into sharp focus. The largest crater in the solar system, 1,300 miles wide. The greatest canyon, 3,000 miles long. These images will help scientists pick landing sites for future probes in the search for life on that distant and now colorful world. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, trading stocks. Is it going to be the end of the closing bell? What about 24-hour trading on the stock exchange?
Are some vitamin brands tested more than others? GNC multivitamins have to pass 150 quality checks to ensure the purest, most potent ingredients. The FDA doesn't require it. You should. GNC. Come in. Live well. Does your multivitamin know you're a man? Mega Men from GNC is made especially for men with ingredients like saw palmetto and ginseng that other brands don't have. It's your body. Take what belongs to you. GNC. Come in. Live well.
Some things can't be taught in a classroom or found in a textbook. But with Fixodent's long-lasting hold, you'll be ready no matter where the lesson takes you. For long-lasting hold, Fixodent and forget it.
Used to be, if I want something done right, I called me. It worked, until I tried to quit smoking. I needed more than me. I got Nicorette. Nicorette helped me 2 ways. I used it on a regular schedule to help prevent my cravings, and for unexpected cravings, I was ready with an extra piece. I used to be a slave to cigarettes. Nicorette helped me hang on, helped me win. Now that I'm nicotine-free, I gotta tell you, it feels good to win.
Now Nicorette is available in mint. What a refreshing choice. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
It's surprising who's drinking Ensure. Healthy people. Staying healthy means eating right. But when you can't eat nutritious foods like these, drink Ensure. With essential vitamins and minerals you find in vegetables, calcium like in milk, and protein like in fish. Ensure's a source of complete balanced nutrition. Helps you stay active and energetic. Drink Ensure. And drink to your health. And now there's Ensure High Calcium, with calcium and other key nutrients to help build strong bones.
While some folks couldn't sleep, you were peacefully sleeping thanks to new Simply Sleep from the makers of Tylenol PM. It's non-habit forming and eases you into a restful night's sleep. New Simply Sleep.
On the money tonight, Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down more than 235 points today to close at 10,466. On the NASDAQ, stocks were down just a fraction over 8 points. There are big changes coming in the world of trading stocks. The NASDAQ voted today to create an evening trading session. And the chairman of New York Exchange said today that New York is under pressure to do the same thing sooner than they'd anticipated. ABC's Betsy Stark reports tonight that trading is getting more democratic everywhere.
The NASDAQ vote comes as pressure builds on both of the nation's major stock exchanges to offer evening hours before a new breed of upstart exchanges steals their customers away.
The customer is dictating that we need longer trading hours, so we'll be there.
The upstarts, fully electronic stock exchanges with names such as Island and Archipelago, are grabbing a growing share of the 450,000 stock trades made over the internet every day. 40% of them after the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange close.
Let's take a look at the website here.
At these offices, right across the street from the New York Stock Exchange, another after-hours electronic stock market, Indivex, is preparing to launch this summer.
People want to be able to invest when it's convenient for them. There's no doubt about it that prime time hours are more convenient for most people than 9:30 to 4.
I'm getting hit on $1 million, I'll buy $1 million.
The stakes are big because stock markets make money on every trade that passes through. But there are potential problems with after-hours trading. For one thing, if trading volume is light, it will be harder to match buyers and sellers at prices both agree on. What's more, the idea of a longer workday or a second shift is clearly not welcome in the industry. On the West Coast, brokers already arrive at 5 in the morning to be ready for the opening bell in New York.
They can't really see how they can possibly have a family life and work longer hours.
The industry had better get used to the idea. Many say a 24-hour trading day is inevitable. Betsy Stark, ABC News, New York.
The automobile industry. General Motors decided today that 35,000 Cadillac Sevilles need immediate attention because electrical shorts might cause fires around the engines. And the fires can start apparently even with the key out of the ignition and the engine off. And so GM strongly recommends the cars not be parked inside until the problem is fixed. In a moment, choosing the paycheck instead of a higher education. We'll take a closer look.
Chevrolet, America's waiting for you to call. Drive that Chevrolet through the USA, coast to coast you can see it all. On a highway, on a winding road, life is sweet, so complete in my Chevy. See the USA in your Chevrolet. The world is big and wide and the sun is shining, so make a date today to see the USA and see it in your Chevrolet. Let's go for a drive.
This commercial was filmed entirely from the inside of the new Impala by Chevrolet. You can see the outside June 1st.
When I take a liquid antacid out of my I feel like, ugh.
Well, now there's new fast-acting Mylanta Supreme.
What makes it supreme? Wow.
Oh, that's good. I'm not kidding.
Very light. Yeah, it tastes like a dessert.
Mylanta Supreme. Taste it for yourself.
In the beginning, all was darkness and sorrow. And then, one day, come, it is time. The Maytag Dual Cool Refrigerator, where finally the temperatures are just right. Yay! Our future looks bright indeed, for this refrigerator actually keeps food fresh.
The best way to cure athlete's foot so it won't come back is here. New Lamisil AT. So powerful, it does what no other brand can do. These take 4 weeks of treatment to kill the fungus. Lamisil AT is so powerful, with just 1 week's use, it stops the itching and burning and cures athlete's foot between the toes. So powerful, a clinical study showed 3 whole months later, users were still athlete's foot free. Now without a prescription. New Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot fast so it won't come back.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at a world of opportunity. It is the graduation season, as so many of you know, high school and college. Thousands of college graduates must now make a living. And many thousands of black students, high school and college, will soon be getting financial opportunities they may not have had before. First, the college crowd. ABC's Jackie Judd reports on the appeal of the marketplace rather than graduate school.
Corporate America is putting the hard sell on college graduates.
I had over 30 interviews.
Offering them everything from signing bonuses to furnished apartments to cars.
I interviewed with approximately 10 to 15 different
employers and received offers from 4 or 5.
Congratulations, great job.
Carell Williams graduated from the University of Virginia in Charlottesville last weekend. He had every intention of going on to graduate school, but could not resist the gold-plated job offers that came his way.
I don't think Mom and Dad is going to support me anymore.
And the recruiters were offering money?
Yes.
What kind of money?
Yes, big money.
Williams, a business major, is moving to Midland, Michigan to take a job with Dow Chemical. Dow is hiring 50% more college graduates today than 5 years ago and paying them 25% more. Starting salaries top $40,000. It is an economic principle all students learn. Demand is greater than supply.
The disciplines that we've had the most difficult time recruiting have been in information systems, because everyone is seeking computer science, computer engineering majors.
The trend of snatching up undergraduates is causing something of a brain drain in graduate schools, and they're not happy about it.
For example, at UVA's Graduate School of Engineering, enrollment slumped from 700 in 1991 to 516 last year, forcing officials to offer incentives, such as travel expenses for prospective students. Unless the move away from postgraduate studies turns around, corporate America may face shortages in the future.
Companies and the talent they need and the educational level for that talent is what we have to be concerned about and what they will be concerned about.
Carell Williams says at some point he expects to get a master's degree, but for now, he's following the money. Jackie Judd, ABC News, Charlottesville.
Well, the other thing about the money tonight is this. There's more of it for more people, and some of those who are traditionally left behind, even in the boom times, are finding more opportunity. A study by professors at Harvard and the College of William and Mary finds that with a high school education or less, young black men are working in record numbers for better pay. Here's ABC's Rebecca Chase.
The study found that it took nearly 6 years of low unemployment and rates falling below 5% before the economic boom began to benefit young black men. Tommy Flythe is one of them.
I feel like I'll be here for a real long time. I can see myself growing along with this company.
In the past, the 22-year-old held temporary jobs or just hung out. Now he maintains an apartment complex, earning $11.50 an hour. In fact, earnings for young black men have increased faster than for other high school graduates. One reason is now they are getting better jobs.
Right before this problem occurred,
when Compaq Computer could not find enough college graduates to staff its customer support center, it hired high school graduates and trained them. That gave Rivera Foster a chance at a $30,000 a year job.
The previous jobs that I've had have been pretty much menial. They had some form of growth, but not much.
The job market is so tight that in some cities, like here in Atlanta, even young men with prison records are in demand.
One uses a
Every inmate who graduates from this welding course gets hired. In fact, the prison has a hard time meeting the demands of employers.
They're happy with them, and they'll call me and say, hey, we'd like to have some more just like them.
In 1992, 52% of young black men were employed. Today, that number has jumped to 64%. Their unemployment rate is still nearly double that for whites. But unlike past recoveries, they no longer are left out. Rebecca Chase, ABC News, Atlanta.
In a moment, we're going to visit a California lunch pad. Could it really be the curse?
I'm 64. Is there anything I can do to stop bone loss?
Absolutely. Here's proof. In a landmark clinical study, Caltrate actually stopped bone loss in women at risk for osteoporosis, whatever your age.
It's never too late for Caltrate.
Overactive bladder.
Those strong, sudden urges.
Going to the bathroom so often.
Wedding accidents.
Discover prescription Detrol. Detrol is proven effective to treat overactive bladder. Detrol reduced bathroom visits by 2.2 times in 24 hours versus 1.1 times with a sugar pill.
Stay a little longer?
Love to.
1.2 fewer wedding accidents occurred with Detrol versus 0.8 fewer with a sugar pill. Similar decreases over 24 hours. Do not take Detrol if you have certain types of stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems. The most common side effect is dry mouth at 39.5% for Detrol versus 15.9% for Sugar Pill. Common but less frequent ones may include dry eyes, headache, constipation, and indigestion.
Head back?
Not right now.
For more product information, call us or ask your doctor about prescription Detrol, proven effective to treat overactive bladder.
Brad, I asked my doctor about Detrol.
A triumph over everyday arthritis pain, made possible by Tylenol Arthritis Extended Relief. Even the newest arthritis prescription hasn't been proven to work better. Tylenol Arthritis.
Friday on 2020, look at this. An outrageous new breed of casino scam artists falling down, staging accidents, hoping to hit the jackpot by suing the casino. Slip and sue on 2020 Friday.
Finally from us this evening, space and almost space. The Space Shuttle Discovery is heading towards a rendezvous this weekend with the International Space Station. Discovery left Florida this morning, carrying a load of supplies for the space station. Tonight in our report on Your Money, we're going to go to California to a launch pad that cost billions of dollars and has yet to witness a success. Here's ABC's Brian Rooney.
Here on the California coast, the Air Force built Space Launch Complex 6, known as Slick 6. The year was 1966, and the pad was designed to launch the Manned Orbital Laboratory, a military observation post. But unmanned satellites made the lab obsolete before any attempt to put it in orbit. Slick 6 was left to rust in the ocean breeze.
It was probably the most expensive movie set used for the Bionic Woman. One of the episodes called Fembots from Las Vegas.
Then came the idea in the 80s to launch the space shuttle from the West Coast. Billions more were spent converting Slick 6. Even then, there were complaints.
This shuttle launch facility at Vandenberg is the costliest Air Force facility that we've ever constructed, almost $3 billion.
The problems were fixed, and finally the shuttle Enterprise was put on the pad. Then the Challenger blew up over Florida. Slick 6 was abandoned again. One story has it that the Chumash Indians who once roamed this area put a curse on Slick 6 because it was built on an ancient burial site. Even if you believe in ritual curses, there is no evidence that the Chumash put one on Slick 6. But some people cling to the tale as a possible explanation for why no project at Slick 6 has ever worked. In 1994, the Air Force leased Slick 6 to the Lockheed Corporation. Their first rocket had to be blown up 300 miles over the Pacific. The second put a satellite in space for 4 days before it crashed back into the atmosphere. But hope for Slick 6 is eternal.
We have ignition and liftoff of the Athena 2 launch vehicle.
On April 27th this year, the Athena flew out of sight carrying a new Earth imaging satellite. And that was the last seen or heard of it. After 35 years and $8 billion, Slick 6 has kept a perfect record. Brian Rooney, ABC News at Vandenberg Air Force Base, California.
That is our report on World News Tonight. Later on Nightline, the case against Slobodan Milosevic. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a good evening. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Tomorrow, Closing In, the ultimate treatment for diabetes. No need to draw blood. Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABCnews.com, now a part of the Go Network.
Now, News 2 at 6.